both of us had such a desire to be happy. And together, I thought we could really pull it off.
Everyone's sad and mad and hurting each other, and it's all her fault.
I couldn't see it. I just didn't know.
Dissecting Lily came out of one of our workshops. What we did was we put a prompt out there asking people to rate from the viewpoint of a different character. A prompt is anything that gets you writing. So it can be a photograph, it can be a video element, it can be a poem or a quote that you love, and it can just be something like, you didn't know you could swim, and now you know you have to. And you go from there. They write for 10 minutes usually. This prompt for Dissecting Lily was written by my daughter Sienna, and from the perspective of a 15-year-old girl, it was her suicide note.
I remember when Rachel brought in the prompt and she told us all to answer this suicide letter that the girl had written. And a few of the people in the group were actually really emotional about it, and that's what's great about the group, that you actually start talking about your own experiences and you share a piece of who you are with each other.
This level of speed and vulnerability. I can't really turn around to look at the scenery or at my buddies on either side. We're supposed to write something from the perspective of basically someone who is related to her, one of her friends or one of her classmates or something like that, so everyone shows a different perspective.
That's the thing about being on a team. You have girls that are watching your back. And you leave the team and someone slut shames you on Tumblr or messes with you in the girls' bathroom.
Being older, I had to access the voice of a 15 or 16-year-old, and that was kind of challenging.
The book that tells you everything you need to get the badges? Like baking cookies and selling them and stuff like that. But I didn't get the stupid book. So I got the same 4 badges everybody had. The things you get for like sewing and community service and nap time.
People chose wildly different, characters, and there were a lot of teenagers because she was a teenager.
And teenagers are pretty self-absorbed, so even though the tragedy was Lily, it's almost natural for teenagers to be talking about her, but also about themselves, about their own deal too.
And now Lily's gone. And there's no perfect daughter left. All they have is me. The less than perfect. The not Lily. The you'll never be Lily.
I think one of the real positive aspects of having so many different people, though, is that a lot of times when a piece is written by one person, it's their voice sometimes that can really just shine through all of the characters, so they might sound too much the same, whereas each one of these were written by a completely different person, so I think that really helped to enforce each character's different voice.
The girls around her always seemed so helpful. We can help her, Miss Alvarez. Ugh. I can't get their syrupy, sweet voices out of my head.
What we wanted to do was figure out how we could, as a group, go ahead and submit something for StageFest. How do you do that? Jersey City Writers has got like maybe 40 active members. So how do you get as many people involved as possible?
We came up with the idea after about, literally it was like an hour on the whiteboard with different ideas, and we voted and we crossed things out. And we decided on doing something that was like, it was about a little girl who committed suicide because of bullying. It was something really relevant in today's world.
We did have a big meeting with all of us there, and we all ripped the play apart and said what we liked, didn't like. And it got heated, but by the end we worked it all out and we had something that we all agreed on.
It was the challenge is put it together like a puzzle and make it seem like it's a play rather than separate monologues. And find a through line, which is Shane, a young boy who has an obsession for Lily, who committed suicide.
My name is Shane Carpenter, and I want to be a filmmaker. Lily and I went to school together. We had world history class, so we saw each other 5 times a week.
And so we followed him, his sort of journey, and what he does to sort of commemorate, make a video tribute about who she was. Gabby and I sort of honed on the general storyline, and then the next step was using again the initial writers to make it into a real compelling story.
You stopped you earlier. Let's say it's going to be much bigger the space. So
should I think more about this?
Yeah, no, don't worry. We're not working this. This is only like
I've never worked like this before, and I think it was very challenging to actually put these monologues together in a way that seemed like to flow. Now, what's great is the actual writers involved actually have a good appreciation of each other, and we're all at one point when they found what the main through line was, to sort of adapt their own writings.
I don't think it was really the normal way to do a play, but it was actually very abnormal, but it was a lot of fun. Collaborating with everybody in Jersey City, it felt like, during certain times. It was, you kind of had to Frankenstein the play together and then go through to edit it to smooth it out. But it was a very rewarding experience. People really put their hearts into it, and I think that in the end was why we could put it all together. I mean, when they wrote their character's monologue, they really put a piece of themselves in there. So these were full, breathing, living characters. So all we had to do, all Jim, Gabby, and Dan had to do, was take it, put it together, give it like a plot, give it a guiding line, and make it work.